Hi guys, thanks for joining us today for today's Keeper Chat. So I am up here at the Hoofstock Barn and I want to talk to you about an animal that people don't get to see very often. So this is our yellowback duiker. And he is up here in the Hoofstock Barn. This is where he lives. And it's kind of hard to see at this angle. He might move for us later on. But this light strip right up on the top of his back there is actually a yellowish color. And these guys are native to Africa. So over in Africa they have a pretty wide range of kind of Central Africa going over into Eastern Africa. But they are primarily found in forest and scrublands. And he is a very shy animal, but yellowback duikers in general really are very shy animals. And he is about 3 feet tall and he weighs around 180 pounds. And so he is quite compact. But yellowback duikers are actually one of the largest duiker species. Other duikers like blue duikers and red duikers, they are very small. They are about the size of house cats. And you notice he has those little horns on his head. So both male and female duikers have those little horns, or at least the yellowback duikers do. And there we go. Now you can see him in profile. So if you notice those, oh, now he moved his head. But there's these little slit-looking things under his eyes. And those are actually scent glands. So he will rub his face on things to help mark his territory and to also just let other animals know that he is about. And in the wild, these guys are solitary. So they really only come together for breeding purposes. I'm trying to move this around so we get a better angle without the sun glaring down there, but I can't quite find a good angle for us. But these guys are solitary. They really only come together for breeding purposes. So as far as population-wise, they unfortunately are a near-threatened species and their population is on a decline. And that's for a couple different reasons. One is their habitat loss. These guys, like I said, they're in forests and scrublands, and they will have had habitat loss due to logging and just population growth in their human population growth and expansion, taking over some of the wild lands for urban growth and those kinds of things. They are also hunted sometimes for bush meat. And he is hoping I'm going to give him a biscuit, but unfortunately I already gave all my biscuits to the camels, so I don't have any for him right now. But here at Cheehaw he gets a diet of grain, some different produce, and different kinds of greens. In the wild he would be primarily munching on leaves and stuff, so he would be a browser. I'm honestly surprised he stayed here this long. This is really great. He is a very shy animal, and he spooks really easy, so he does not really care for too much commotion. He likes his life nice and calm. One neat thing they can do with their fur, so you notice how that stripe is pretty prominent on his backside? One neat thing they can do is control their hair movement. So they can put their hair up and down to control how prominent that stripe is along there. And he is about 8 years old, and he was born here at Cheehaw, so he has been here at Cheehaw his whole life. So the reason people don't get to see him very often is he does not have an exhibit. If you guys are longtime Cheehaw visitors, the Duikers used to be on exhibit where the camels now are. But when we got the camels, we started trying to get out of having Duikers. So our other Duikers did find homes at new facilities, and we have had a few tentative plans for this fella to go to other facilities, but unfortunately they have all fallen through for various reasons. And so instead, he just hangs out with us back here at the barn. He has a pretty big area for his size. He has he's 4 different stalls, and then he gets enriched every day, and he's also part of our training program. And so he has a very active life, even though he doesn't get to see visitors. But I was telling you guys how shy he is and how secretive he is. So he doesn't really like to be on display where people can see him, because that just kind of goes against his natural instinct. So we don't currently have any plans on him ever being out on exhibit. Hopefully we'll be able to get him to a new facility, but until that happens, he'll just be here with us. And if you guys ever do like a behind the scene tour or something at with the Hoofstock Barn, you guys might get to see him then. All right. So if you guys have any questions about our Duiker here or any of the other animals here at Cheehaw, just let us know. All right, thank you guys.